Good morning you guys, it's Karen, and I thought I would come and talk about the Cefaly device. I have never done a review of this. I think I've mentioned it to you guys, but I've never done a review. This is the little box that you get with it. I have put, let me take out that side. I've put alcohol wipes in here, just bought, you know, little packets, and then there are spare electrodes, so that's the thing that you put on your forehead. And I've got 2 spare in there. They're pretty expensive, I have to say. I think it's like £47 for a pack of 3, something like that. It's an expensive device, as you know. I bought mine from Amazon and have had no issues with it. I think it's the genuine article. And like I said, it comes with this electrode. It's sticky. It's a sticky backed thing. So the stickiness does eventually wear off and you need to replace it. Hence the other ones, the spare ones there. Although I've been using this for quite a while. I would say I've probably used this about 10 times, and it's not, the stickiness is only now, if I don't really like make sure that I've used the alcohol wipe on my head, then I can see it sort of sticking up at the end, so I might need to change that soon. This is the actual device. It's just a little tiny little thing. You can see if it's in the palm of your hand that goes on there, and it's really strong. It's a really strong magnet. You would think that it would feel, I was like, really? That's going to hold onto my head? But it actually does, you know, and you can, I've worn it in bed, turned over, and it doesn't come off. And then you've got the charger, which is really unique. It's like, you know, a spring on a spring, so that when you spring it back, which is a bit of a knack, it's just really small like that. So what you do is you clean your head of makeup, go over with an alcohol wipe, put this on, click this on, and then choose which mode you want, which is basically one of 2 modes. There's treatment mode and prevention mode. So if you press it once, that's just you choosing treatment mode, and that is for 1 hour, and it slowly increases in intensity. And when you press the button, it beeps once to let you know you switched it on, but you won't feel anything for a couple of minutes. It's imperceptible at first. Then the other mode is prevention mode. That's 20 minutes, and you press the button twice and you hear 2 beeps and it tells you that it's in prevention mode. There is also a way of putting it on and increasing the intensity immediately. So that's what it does. Let me tell you what it feels like if I can. There's a lot of different videos and different people feel different things, but I think it feels like extreme tingling is what I would say. And at first it's a bit unnerving at first. I think when it gets to the high intensity, you're kind of lying there thinking, do I want to switch this off? Do I want to switch this off? You know, I don't know if I like this feeling, because it radiates all across your forehead, and it goes, for me anyway, it goes back into about here. Somebody described it as feeling like ants were crawling all over their head. It didn't feel like that to me. It just feels like extreme tingling, and it feels like contracting as well, like it's doing this, you know. So it's a bizarre feeling, but it's not something that I find painful at all. And I actually, when I use it for treatment, I like it because the extreme tingling masks the head pain, and then so that's all I'm concentrating on, and that is a much more pleasurable feeling than the headache. So that's what it feels like. So does it work? Well, for me, it is not a saviour, if you like. So I know a lot of people swear by their Cefaly, but it is one of the things in my kind of arsenal of things that I use against migraine. But for me, as most of you will know, headache is not the major, head pain is not the major feature for me every day. The major feature is feeling lightheaded, dizzy, kind of like I'm walking in treacle, and I do have head pain, but it's almost always bearable, if you like, as long as it's silent. Any kind of noise, like, you know, even the kettle boiling, cupboards shutting, that hurts my head, but I just don't have that headache all the time. However, I do get the head pain sometimes. Thankfully not very often, but the really, really bad head pain that has me like lying in bed, you know, curled up, no light, that's when I become light sensitive. I used to be light sensitive all the time, I'm not anymore, but that's when I become very light sensitive. And it's at those times when the head pain is bad that this Cefaly actually works for me very, very well. So I've used it twice in the past 2 weeks because I've had 2 really bad headaches, which is unusual for me. I think it's because I'm going to physio and she's sort of messing around with my neck a lot. And on both occasions I've used this, and on the hours treatment, and it has helped. It doesn't take it away completely, it gives you some relief. You've got relief for the hour you're using it, or for me, I've got relief for the hour I'm using it, and then I've also got relief afterwards. It's taken it down a level, it's taken it to a more bearable level. I have a couple of times tried to use the 20-minute prevention. You're supposed to use it every day. I can't remember for how long, but I have tried using the prevention, and I feel like I feel like I've got more of a headache. It doesn't give me a headache, but it doesn't, it's hard to explain, but it doesn't, I feel like then the low level headache is kind of a little bit worse. I don't feel like the prevention mode does anything for me. And there has been one occasion where I've used this and it actually made me feel worse, but I was trying to see if it would work for the migraine, not for the head pain. So I didn't have excruciating head pain, and I used it and it gave me a headache. It made my headache worse. So for me, this doesn't work as a prevention. It has done for many people, I know that, but it does work as a cure if I have a very bad headache. So if head pain is your major symptom, it's probably worth investing in this because it is a really good device. And I have tried cheaper version. I feel like I heard somebody behind me then. The cheaper version, which was, I can't remember the make now, and it wasn't that much cheaper, but it was a little bit cheaper, and it didn't really stay on properly, and it just wasn't the same. This is the kind of gold standard, and if you're going to try it, I would go for this one. You know, go for the real thing if you can at all. It is super expensive. So yeah, I thought I would come and do just a mini review. Like I said, I've been reminded on how useful it is in the last, I said 2 weeks, it wasn't 2 weeks. The last week I've had 2 headaches, and both times it's really helped. So I thought it was worth telling you about that. So I hope you're doing well. I'll come back and speak to you soon, and take care.